AITA for making my BIL and Bridezilla SIL change their wedding venue after sending out invites? To the Honorable Judge Charlotte, this page has brought so much entertainment and comfort, knowing that I would never have a reason to post here because our family could never be that bad. Boy howdy, was I ever wrong. My husband convinced me that you, Judge Charlotte, need to hear this. If I can even remember all the BS I need to write down. Buckle up, besties, it's a wild ride, and I'm sorry it is long. My BIL, 30. Let's call him Duke, and my SIL, 25. Let's call her Deanna, have been together for 2 years. This summer they had their wedding. I am still reeling. Let's start from the beginning. Duke and Deanna got engaged winter of 2023. In spring of 2020, for they were evacuated from where they lived, 12 hours north of us, because of a forest fire. Of course, we said they could stay with us. This included them and their 2 large dogs. We live on an acreage and have 2 large dogs ourselves, so this isn't an issue. Or so we thought. Duke and Deanna enjoy some recreational activities, which is legal where we live. To each their own. However, we at the time had 2 young children and now have 3. Legal or not, there are no DRGs allowed in our home. They were respectful of this rule and kept it outside, although our home reeked the entire time. While here they would not take care of their large hyper dogs, and it became my responsibility as my husband works full-time and I am home with the kids. Their dogs are not well behaved, and I did not feel comfortable taking care of large dogs constantly jumping at me and starting fights with our dogs. Our dogs are large but lazy and don't jump. I promise the dogs are relevant. They would leave late at night and drive high. I don't want to have to deal with that responsibility if anything happens to them. Anyways, during that time my other brother-in-law, let's say Tim, got married that year while they were down here for the evacuation. He is brothers with my husband and Duke. Duke and Deanna were late to help with setup and over an hour late to the intimate rehearsal dinner because they were napping, smoking. Throughout the wedding, Deanna was commenting about all the things she would never do at her wedding. It was a classy and well-done wedding. It is clear from so many small instances that they have no respect for others, their boundaries, property, or time. While they stayed with us for 3 weeks waiting to be allowed back into their home, nothing was damaged. They planned their wedding. Sort of. They asked if they could have their wedding on our property. This is where my husband and I got married in the height of COVID. Before my husband bought the house, it was family land. We said we would consider it because it could be considered a special spot to Duke. After 3 weeks, they went back up north. My husband and I talked about it and decided we could not host a wedding for them. That summer, I became pregnant with our 3rd. My husband works a lot of OT in the summer, and they were aiming to get married July 2025. We didn't think we would be able to get the house or property wedding ready. As well, I didn't want to have to host a wedding while caring for 3 young children, as our baby would be a newborn at that time. And on top of that, much of Deanna's family partakes in recreational activities, and we couldn't trust that these people we didn't know would respect our rules of no in the house. Now, the one thing this family lacks is communication, and we must take responsibility for our lack of communication. They said they thought our place would make a good venue. They did not say for sure they wanted to get married there, so we waited to hear about more wedding plans. We didn't want to have to say no and be assholes if they chose a different venue. We assumed after announcing our pregnancy that they wouldn't expect us to host with a new baby. We told family about the baby in August 2024. They never followed up with us, and since we didn't agree to hosting, we assumed they found a different wedding venue. Fast forward to February 2025, I am as pregnant as it gets, and honestly, my mental health wasn't great. Duke and Deanna send out wedding invites. Location? My address. When? July. I was livid. But my husband, who was also upset, handled it very well. He told them we were unable to accommodate them, and he was much kinder about it than I would have been. We expected a fight, but they agreed to change the venue. We appreciated that greatly. And it was e-invites, so not costly to change or resend. Free, in fact. Now you may have already decided I am the a-hole for making them change their venue. But let me paint a picture for you of their wedding and celebration. After we said our place was a no-go, they had to look for another venue. But it was difficult because they wanted a specific date. A Thursday. We thought that was weird, but whatever. My husband asked why that date was so important, and we were told you aren't allowed to ask, okay. Now it's the end of June, and they are getting married the beginning of July. As expected, this wedding is messy and unorganized. At this point, they have had 1.5 years to plan and prep for this wedding. All decor is DIY, and so was mine for my wedding. My mom and I did it all during our 6M engagement. Duke and Deanna have done none of it beforehand. Everything is brought down. They still got married down here, to be made and done only 2 weeks before the wedding. During this time, they are staying with MIL and FIL because I was not hosting and caring for their insane dogs with young children and a new baby. The family thinks I'm ridiculous for not catering to the needs of the precious family fave and his soon-to-be bride. They try to passive-aggressively encourage us to take the dogs to our house because there is more space on our property. We did not cave. I started to wonder if I am being the asshole. It is their wedding. Maybe I should be more lenient? But apparently Deanna doesn't like anything MIL cooks. I don't always agree with my MIL, and we don't always get along, but she is a good woman, and she would cook anything for anyone. And SIL keeps saying, oh no, I don't like that, and won't eat with the family. She will only go get fast food after the meal. FIL cooks a steak. She requests a hot dog instead. They of course give her what she wants. But suddenly MIL is very upset when they leave to stay at a hotel a few days before the wedding, and she is left to care for the dogs and cats. Yes, they brought their cats. Because apparently there is no house sitter or animal caretaker where they live. And that's why we didn't want the animals at our house. My daughter had her second birthday the first week of July, and it was great to have them in town, so everyone could come for the party. Just a super chill wiener roast. SGL is upset it's hot dogs and won't eat anything. It unfortunately rains, and we have to move the party inside. She sits outside and will not come in to do cake and presents with her niece. I know my daughter won't remember, but it frustrates me when family won't make an effort with my kids. She's 2. Just come have cake with her. Supposedly, she has social anxiety, which is fair. Except she sure didn't have any during her wedding celebration, which I promise we will get to. It wasn't a big birthday party. Just a little celebration with family and a couple close friends. So it's the day before the wedding. I go with lots of other family to help decorate and set up the hall. But we aren't setting up. We are making the decorations. They've had a year and a half. We are making signs, bouquets with fake flowers could have been done in advance, centerpieces, painting signs, and making/decorating an arch. Nothing was organized. We went out to grab more supplies. It was 30 degrees Celsius in a building with no AC. Her dad had to stop helping to bathe his dogs. It was wild. I worked hard, and so did everyone else. They worked their asses off to pull this wedding together for Duke and Deanna. Because despite my bad attitude, we do love them. So rehearsal. The chaplain isn't there to run the rehearsal. We are missing a groomsman, and the littlest flower girl, 18 old, isn't there to practice. Deanna is looking lost, so I offer to help. I'm no expert, but I've been to a lot of weddings recently and explain how things are usually done. And I ask if she wants me to step in or if she wants me to just sit and be quiet. She did ask for my help. So I directed the processional. It's messy, but we practice, and it's okay. She's very specific about the timing of her entrance, which I get. The little parts matter. I told her we might have to loop the song as it's quite a long walk down a hill to where they are saying their vows. Don't worry, it's relevant. So, finally, day of the wedding. We get to the hall. Deanna is there. Not ready. Freaking out about decor still. The groom and groomsmen are almost late because they realized that morning that he didn't have a tie. They also had to stop and grab alcohol for the wedding the morning of. Because why would we be prepared? When Duke gets there, Deanna starts fighting with him about stuff he was supposed to do, but didn't. It's a mess. Finally, whatever the hell is going on is resolved, and she keeps getting ready. The wedding ceremony starts 30 minutes late. In the grand scheme of things, not bad. Probably the best part of the day. So things are off to a rocky start. No one thought to bring the speakers out for the music. We finally get it set up, and we can start. I'm at the top of the hill with the flower girls and ring bearer. 2 of the 4 kiddos are mine. My son is almost 4, and he's the oldest. I ask him to hold the littlest girl's hand and help her down the hill. Most 18-year-old kids haven't been walking for long, and they certainly haven't mastered hills. Music is playing. The bridal party is making their entrance, but not fast enough. Deanna starts freaking out. Why aren't they going fast enough? I said, it's okay, we can loop the song. The grandmas took a little longer going down the hill than expected. They were walked down the hill with help, but old ladies take a while. She snaps at me. No one gets how important it is until it's their moment. I didn't say anything. I don't want to be rude. It's her wedding and it can be stressful, but I of all people get it. I replanned my wedding 4 times during COVID to follow all the rules. She throws her phone to me. It's connected to the speakers with the music and she doesn't want to carry her phone down the aisle.
Fair.
We probably should have thought of who is controlling music during the rehearsal, but I'm not a wedding planner. Oh well. Now it's time for the children to go. My son is going slow because the little girl can barely walk, and it's downhill. Deanna snaps at the kids to hurry up. They turn around and start coming back up because they think they're doing something wrong. She snaps again, grabs the littlest one, and barrels down the aisle. My son is sensitive and starts to cry because this aunt that he barely knows is yelling at him, and there's lots of people around he doesn't know. I take my kids and go sit down. I can only imagine what pictures look like. And somehow it doesn't end here. They have super fast vows, and here's the twist. The chaplain announces they are already married. It is their 1-year anniversary. No one says anything. No one claps. They kiss. Dead silence. It's a fake wedding. She yelled at my kids for a fake moment. It's fine to elope. And it's okay to celebrate at a different date if you can't afford it. But to lie to everyone for a whole year. Now, we know why the date was so special. And a year before they posted a pic of them both wearing rings and I asked, did you guys get married?
No.
It's a men's engagement ring. My husband was in the wedding party, so of course he was in photos. They had to take multiple breaks during photos to light up and get some fresh air. They were over an hour late for the reception. Wild. Everyone at the wedding is pleasant, but it for sure put a damper on the whole mood. Not gonna lie, I checked out. I did not help with cleanup. I wasn't gonna drag my kids back to the hall for another day, and my husband wasn't taking another day off of work for this. He was hurt. His brother got married and didn't tell him or anyone about it. My cousin told me to take our gift back. Thought about it, but we didn't, lol. Many people traveled so far for this wedding. Anywhere from 5 to 23 hours of driving. Or flights. For a fake wedding. For a joke. I don't even know how to end this. There were so many small things that happened. My husband did not hide how he was feeling. Deanna asked me, is your husband mad at me? He seems kinda grumpy. I just laughed and walked away.
So,
Ida? I didn't let them have their wedding at my house. I didn't help with cleanup, and I don't want them to stay at my house again. I feel like they have no respect for the time, property, or boundaries of others, and I don't want her around yelling at my kids that she won't take the time to make an effort with. Am I overreacting? At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, because it wasn't a real wedding.